Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 145. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Quit pointing at that. It's accurate. That's last week's date. You remember we have a system now.
I'm giving your wife a look that she hasn't seen yet, and that's why I'm pointing at it. I'm waiting for her to look at me.
That was directed at her,
That
not
was directed
me.
at her.
My apologies. Go ahead.
To let her know.
Go ahead and look at me.
That she didn't update the board.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I would like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you to be on that app. For $3.99 a month, you can be a part of it, and you will be subscribed 3 bodyweight exercises every week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 WODs, which will be delivered directly to your calendar from the world's greatest endurance trainer, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit. For $9.99 a month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer, which is everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to triathlon programs, Spartan programs, whatever you need, we probably have it. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you or someone you know does not have $3.99 a month to spare and think that fitness would enhance your life, then please email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com, and I'll be happy to add you to the app free of charge. www.liftheavyrunlong.com. Click on sign up now, and you can try a free week on the app of any of our programs. We would love to have you on there. To my right, I have the world's most attractive woman and my very best friend, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. We got off to a pretty ruckusy start. Is ruckusy a word?
Hectic.
Hectic, chaotic.
I'm going to jump in here. I think you did well. Like, you were having streaming issues beforehand. Like, if the worst thing that happened is we were about 5 or 10 seconds delayed, then I think we're good, because it could have been that we just completely canceled the show altogether.
That's right. It could not have been that. That would have not been good for me. That was not.
We could have had no Facebook live stream. How about that?
That would not have been good either.
Okay.
But we handled it, so we did well.
It's done.
We know how we will react under adversity, which is a true sign of character. I read that on a meme on Facebook.
Did Abraham Lincoln say that?
Doctor, what's new? All good things?
Yeah, all good things. Work is busy, working a lot of overtime, super tired, but good.
Good. The Reverend
I am right here.
Vaughn Rawls is right here.
I am.
Are you super tired?
I'm pretty tired. I have a pretty high level of stress and anxiety right now. And so, speaking of dealing with how you behave under duress, I'm trying to work on that.
Can I tell you
Right
what
now.
you don't need to stress about?
Yeah.
Your hair. Your hair stays good for, it's been good for a month.
Wow.
Y'all
That's
talk
awesome.
about his hair like every week.
It's because it stays good every week. It looks like it's been cut.
This is at least the 3rd episode in a row that it's on point.
Listen, you guys have just made my whole day of stress and anxiety just disappear.
Just like that. Now you're ready to go die in the middle of the woods
That's
in
right,
Canada
that's
somewhere
right.
with good hair.
Y'all are awful.
Look at that dead guy's hair. It's great.
Well, he looks good.
We got to drag him off and get him back to his wife.
I love the conversation.
Get him back to Brenda Haskell's house so she can handle the shipment of the body.
I love that we've been joking in our Slack group about whether or not Vaughn survives this event. Because basically we're going to take the week off that Vaughn is gone to the process, and then if he lives, we'll have the next episode
make
when he
it
comes
home,
back, or otherwise we'll be live streaming the funeral from wherever that happens.
Yes, please do.
There's been no
streamed
mention
my
of him making it back alive yet. There's been a lot of things said about Vaughn's trip, none of which have been under the assumption that he's coming back breathing.
I agree.
We'll have you stuffed and mounted and put right there.
Perfect.
That's how we're going to handle that.
That'd be really weird. I'd have a hard time sleeping at night in the house if Vaughn was stuffed out here in the
We'd keep him out here.
garage.
Or would you feel more comfortable if we had him in the house?
No, I mean, nowhere near would be great. What if he came back to life like he was a vampire staying in that closet that one time he was
Zombie.
talking about?
You remember like my man in the suit of armor?
That
we
was
could have
freaky.
Vaughn over there instead.
What's going to end up happening is he's not going to bother you here. He's going to join you on your long runs. He's going to be the guy running
He's
with
gonna
you
be
in the
guy
middle of the
running
night.
with me.
He's going to be Lisa Barker's old lady.
Exactly.
That is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard. When I go, I will haunt everybody on their trail run.
Oh, Emily Reed just said weekend at Vaughn.
Yeah.
That could go on for a while. That charade could go on for as long as we let it. Just have him flopping around.
At least the hair would stay good.
The hair would be perfect.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Big Thirsty, Brian Swanson, behind the camera.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
I'm well.
What's new?
Not much. Motivation's still not there. I run twice already this week.
Good for you.
That's motivation. And you've been positive
It's-
since you've been here.
It's really not. So
Here goes the
fun-
positive.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and be down on myself. 4 mile fun run on Saturday. We were invited out to participate in Lululemon and Start to Finish Performance Labs Get Stronger, Run Longer event, which sounds very eerily similar to Lift Heavy, Run Long.
So, I mean, we had to be there.
Yeah, so we had to be there. And so anyways, there was a 2 mile and a 4 mile fun run. I went out for the 4 mile fun run. It wasn't so fun. I finished dead last.
I want to say,
And Vaughn, when I came back in and collapsed into my chair, he said, "We were getting worried about you."
Oh no. That's not cool at all. I don't like that one bit.
well, my wife came. My wife and daughter Murphy came, and we were hanging out. And Holly kept going, "Well, how long does it take Brian to run 4 miles?" Because she doesn't know how long it takes to run 4 miles. And I'm like, he actually probably should have been back by now. And when he got, what I want to say is when he got back, he sat down in the chair, and I could just look at him and go, "Oh man." He goes, "I just need a swift kick in the pants to get me going." And I said, "I think you just got it." Like I could tell from the look on his face that he was like, "Oh man, something is gonna have to change right now."
I was so miserable out there. Well, I made the mistake. So fun run, but it's led by what I'm going to call like legit runners that train, and like their jogging pace is like a 9 or 10 minute mile kind of thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not calling them out. I mean, that's just they're comfortable. Like, let's have a conversation and go out for 20 miles at this pace because we can. And so they're running at that pace, and I'm trying to keep up. Mm-hmm. And then after about the first mile, I was like, man, I just can't keep up. And as soon as I backed off, like they just steadily started pulling away. And by the time I got to the last mile of the run, they were nowhere in sight. So
Amanda put out an APB on me one time I think I was at her Parsons. And I was like, you know good goddamn well where I was. You don't have to put it out there. I know it takes me forever. And then we were at the Ragnar, and Kathy Owens, who's the nicest woman
Sure.
in the world, was like, "We thought you'd gotten hurt." I said, "I'm not hurt." She's like, "I knew you'd gotten hurt." I said, "I'm not hurt." She said, "Well, it took you so long. Hey, we just thought you were hurt."
Well,
I
we
said,
can
"Well,
get
I'm not
you
hurt.
fixed up. You can come back and try again next year. It's okay.
Just keep after it. You just got to train more." I'm fine.
But anyways,
It was a PR.
the event was pretty awesome. Start to Finish Performance Lab is a really, really awesome space.
It really is nice.
They've got a nice setup over there. It's the second iteration of CrossFit Chickasaw. getting start to finish involved, but it's also kind of, I think, supplemented by like can't stop endurance. And I don't know what their involvement is, if maybe they just send their athletes there for some workouts, or if they're involved in creating the workouts. But it's funny because we had a conversation about them being so close to the box and whether the box was feeling any like hurt from start to finish Performance Lab opening up. And
what's the box?
The box is a CrossFit gym that's over there on Broad Avenue as well.
Very close to
very,
where we were.
very close to where we were.
Is that one of Justin Lamance's 478 boxes?
No.
He's all hit and run.
But the point that I made is the Start to Finish Performance Lab is a gym for runners, where one of the things that they also do is CrossFit. They are not. I mean, they are official CrossFit affiliate, but they're not trying to sell CrossFit memberships.
Right.
They are a runner's gym. Like, here's the other stuff you need to be doing besides your run training to get faster, and so come in and let us help you.
Well, it's funny, and it really struck. I really loved that event, and I just thoroughly enjoyed being there because I love running, and when I never knew anything but CrossFit, and I've said that before, but like I never like ran and like, oh, I'm a runner. I always just walked into a CrossFit gym, and then I started running long races, you know. And at that time, when I started, like it was 2009, 2010, people were, especially runners, were like, thought I was just like a stupid or whatever it might be, you know, like they didn't. Nobody would ever think about lifting weights. So
well, I mean, it was only 6 or 7 years ago that, you know, and he said it with affection, but Kevin Leathers was giving you a hard time out at trail races. You'd go running by him, and he'd be like, "Shouldn't you be deadlifting somewhere?" or something like that.
Right,
you know,
sure.
And he's just being funny.
Yeah,
he's just being funny. But even he didn't give it the credit that it deserved at that time.
Well,
and I think he's finally even coming around.
Well, what struck me the most and what got me so excited about it was you can see in a person's eyes when you're in a CrossFit gym and somebody does a muscle up. And if you've never seen that before, you're like, oh, wow, I want to do that.
This was a fun part of our event.
And so there's this one runner dude, and you can tell, I mean, he weighs probably 100 pounds. And like these girls, like, are just doing these muscle ups, like the CrossFit coaches, and
there was full rigs, rings, pull up setup, and so. You know, the rings, man, everybody gets drawn to the rings, right? Like, you know, Murphy is going over and grabbing on the wings, and she's wanting to swing on them and stuff like that. You know, and people are grabbing onto the ropes, and people are trying to climb, you know, as high as they can on the ropes. Well, then finally a guy tries to, like, grab the rings, and he just tries to see if he can, like, just muscle his way in, I mean, strict muscle up into a muscle up, and he can't get it. And so one of the CrossFit coaches who happened to be a girl, gets up there and she's like, no, you know, hold on to it like this, and she swings
just like whoop,
and just up there, and he's just like the awe in his eyes.
You can just see it on his face. Like, and my experience in the past trying to get runners to do CrossFit has been more of once they start doing CrossFit, they quit running. They don't care. They don't give a crap about running anymore. So it's interesting to see like an actual group of real runners, like Brian was talking about, these guys that can just go run these fast paces, be like, oh, look at me, I'm in a CrossFit gym, I'm doing this, so, and actually not just, what will probably happen is they'll just all quit running, just be like, oh, we're going to deadlift now.
Well, and I think that's the advantage that if they are members at Start to Finish Performance Lab is that the focus is still on endurance workouts and CrossFit, because this is a box that's got, you know, 15 or 20 bike ergs. They've got 15 or 20 rowers. They have probably 5
What's a bike erg?
It's a Concept 2's version of the assault bike.
Oh.
It's very endurance.
Yeah,
know.
so it would probably be nothing for them to come in there like on a Tuesday and their workout be like, okay, we're going to ski, 15 miles, and it should take you about 30 minutes or what, I don't even know what the numbers are. So don't call me out for being wrong about how long it would take. But like I could just see them like not ever touching, like some days not touching a barbell, not touching the rig, not touching a medicine ball, not touching a kettlebell. Some days it's going to be like an endurance only workout for them. So
Well, speaking of, Justin is doing a whole class now where there is no barbell. It's all just like
what's it called?
hustle
Oh,
and
yeah.
CrossFit Hit and Run. It's just a class called, he's calling it hustle.
Oh, no, they're only doing it at that Crosstown location.
I think
right?
so, yeah. But I think I saw a post today where they're moving it to other places. But I wonder if that's a trend now. Like,
Maybe.
Now people
I think that's gonna be the only way that that CrossFit gyms can continue to grow their membership is by offering things that the current non-members might also be interested in.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And Wilson, looks like we need to talk about something else.
No, I'm looking to try to figure out who's tapping on the table with their
Not
foot,
me.
It might be me.
It's not me.
with their foot. It happens.
Was
Just
it
looking.
me?
Did I have we got to change topics? Somebody needs to be quiet. Look on my face.
I make up so much shit in my head. Brian could have had, I don't know what to say to you.
I'm guilty of that for
Do
sure.
we have any reviews this week?
I forgot to check. I was hoping that I was trying to
I don't even know how to pull it up.
telepathically get to you without saying it on the microphone, but I was so busy worried that we weren't going to have a feed that I forgot to look. But what we do have is the Chris Hope 5K. I didn't mention that, which is Saturday, October 5th, 2019. And you need to go to chrishopefoundation.org and get registered for that because they have a 5K race and they also have a virtual race. So go there, join Team LHRL, and be a part of it. And then the very next week, 2 weeks after that, so you can recover and be ready for the Big Hill Pond Walking Tall 25K and 50K, which they had a run out there this week.
They did.
That was the preview
They did.
of the course. But
That's
it sounds like that they had a pretty organized event.
No. It's not a preview of the course. This is an event that's been happening, I believe. This is not the first time that event happened. It's like a 5K, 10K, and it's like to benefit like the Sheriff's Association
Oh,
or
hell,
something
we
like that.
ran it last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a recurring event. Like
I thought
they're
they were just
doing
getting
an
together
ultra
to go
event.
out there.
No, they're doing an ultra run. Like Brian and Sean's event is an ultra version of this 5K, 10K. So funny story. Back to Vaughn and I being at this event on Saturday. So Brian and Lori Williams show up with one of their daughters, and I can't even remember how it come up, but they're like, I think Vaughn asked where their son was. Is his name Adam? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Asked where Adam was. Oh, he's at home playing video games. He ran the Big Hill Pond 5K today. Well, I'd already talked to Lori. He won.
No shock there.
Like,
Doesn't surprise me at all.
like, oh yeah, he ran the 5K today. Girl, he didn't just run the 5K. Like he took
He's-
first place.
he's
That's
14.
a very
and he's 14 years old.
Brian Williams-esque comment. Yeah, he broke the national record there.
Right.
He doesn't play video games.
He's
He
at
can do
home
better.
It just
He's
cracked
more productive.
Well,
It just
he
cracked
won,
me
so
up.
we didn't make him come. We let him stay home and play video games.
Well, he ran Adam 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, which would have made him, I don't know, not 10. Ran 72 miles at the.
They mentioned that he had done
Tour de
100K
Spirit.
at Tour de Spree. So that's impressive.
That Joker's tough, man, especially at that age. Not even the physical part of it. And I discussed this with Brian while we were out there one night. Just the mental aspect of boredom.
Yeah, like a 14-year-old even being interested in doing anything
I was going
for
to say,
that
Andy
long.
and Grayson would be like two
Oh
laps
my
in. They're like, I'm
gosh!
done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Grayson would
Good.
get a quarter mile in full speed, and then he'd be like, "Oh my god, like I'm gonna die." However, he did run an 8:02 mile today at gym.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he's
That's
quick.
fantastic.
Super
He's
proud
been
of
working on
him.
his pull-ups. He's working on his push-ups. I mean, he is into
Sit-ups, yeah.
into his fitness on the. I remember we used to do the Presidential Fitness Award thing.
Sure.
Which in my world was just kind of like garbage. Like nobody really cared anything
Oh,
about
I love
it.
that every year in
And
PE.
did you really?
Yeah, because I like the patch. You got the patch when you got it.
We didn't do that at private school, I don't guess.
You didn't?
Must have been-
We did it at my private school.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
Presidential
that is.
Fitness.
So it was a thing for you that you
Yeah.
got excited about.
Oh yeah, when it came up every year, because you had to, do so many pull-ups and do so many sit-ups and run your mile in a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Well, fat kids can't do pull-ups, not at that age. None of them.
I took all I
Nerds
had.
can't either.
I took all I had. I got it because I wanted that stupid patch.
But to see Grayson be so determined and excited about it has been. I think we talked
He's
about
got
it
good
last
role
week.
models at home.
So that's fun. 802, fantastic.
That is
I'm hoping
I
to get
mean,
him to CrossFit a little bit
And
this year.
how old
during
is
the
he?
Summer.
I'm sorry.
He'll
Uh,
be 13 in July.
Okay.
Yep.
And
He's coming into his
good.
own. Man,
Yeah.
he's picking up that athleticism and kind of growing into himself.
I hope he ends up with all of your spunk regarding athleticism, and hopefully he has equivalently good stories that you have about middle school and high school.
He
and being
shows some signs of aggression that at times are a little concerning because I was a bit over aggressive. But he's he's a hustler. But he is like me in his footedness.
Hustler.
In that
You don't say.
Hustler as in a con artist or as in I work hard?
he works
He works
very,
so
very
hard.
hard.
Okay.
He is easily the hardest working person on the field or the court at
That's
all
awesome.
times. He is not always the quickest or most coordinated, but he puts in the work, and I'll take that. And I tell him that all the time. Hustlers don't have bad games. You go out there and you hustle all you can, and everybody will appreciate
Natural
you all
talent's
the
only
time.
going to take you so far, but that drive and hustle can literally make you better than the majority of the field because you're willing to put in the work and get there. So
Speaking of that, when I went to the gym on Sunday to work out, Vaughn had his son and some of his teammates there working out. They were working hard.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. Yeah, well, fun's not the right word.
how is that coaching? How old's Jackson?
They are 12 and 13.
12 and
And I have
13.
5 of them,
Okay.
including my son. And my goal was just to squat, press, and deadlift, and then do a CrossFit workout. Because next year they're going to the 7th grade. They're going to go into this gym at their school, and some dude is going to be like, hey, load the bar up and squat today, and not pay any attention
Not teach
to
them form or anything
Yes,
at all.
so I
Yeah, yeah.
wanted to teach them this at what I felt like was a critical time in their life, to where when they walk into a gym and know, I should not be squatting this much weight. I should be, you know what I mean? Just know how to take a bar. Even now that I'm so many weeks into it, which is how to take a bar out of the rack. Take it out and squat with it.
Right.
Because they don't know. They reach and just try to, what's this? You're supposed to be squatting, and they're waving a bar up in the air. They don't know anything.
Right.
And so I thought it would be beneficial to them to learn just basic
And that'll put them ahead of the game
things.
for all the
And
other
how
people.
to even take plates off a barbell. How to get the barbell out of the rack. Very basic things. And, man, these 12 and 13-year-old boys, man, they're hard to keep control. Now, the last couple of weeks, I'm just like, listen, shut up. Shut up. Don't worry about what he's doing. I'm going to tell you what to do. Just shut up and work.
I need to take that approach with coaching.
Wow, man. But I've learned.
I heard you get onto one of them. He was complaining about one of the other ones, and you're like, focus on your own work.
Yeah,
just
shut
stick
up.
with your own workout.
They're so concerned with what everybody else is doing. They're more competitive than I even imagined.
They're all jacked up on testosterone and know-it-allness.
Yes, and they can't move. That was my biggest surprise.
You don't need to know how to move when you know everything.
Yeah,
Mobility?
mobility. They can't squat.
Interesting.
They can't.
That's surprising at that age. I would think they were still pretty fluid.
I thought the same thing going into it, but my first day I was like, oh no, I have a huge problem.
Well, you're right in that Bambi gap. You're right at that place where they're just starting to get the length in their body to where they look like baby deer, and everything's just kind of their knees are all knocked in and flinging around.
Oh,
and in 2 years, you're gonna look at them and be like, "Whoa, that dude's an animal.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not going to be that.
But when they get to be that animal, somebody has taught them,
proper
what they're
technique.
supposed to look like.
Right.
So.
Well, unfortunately for you, the fruits of your labor are not going to come around anytime soon.
No,
all of my coaches at the time they were just what they were. And now I look back on them, all of them, all the time. And I appreciate everything that I was taught, some of which the information I didn't, start taking into account until I was 30.
Right.
It's just going to take them time. But what you're doing is not a loss. The fact that they don't listen doesn't mean that they won't go back and
well, if some
reflect on that.
If some douchebag middle school strength coach tells one of these 5 kids that they can just load the barbell up and squat and not to go below parallel, they'll be like, "Oh, that's
it's
that's
so funny.
bullshit,"
because that
it's funny
douchebag
for me.
CrossFit coach told me that I need to go all the way down.
It's funny for me. So my oldest grandson,
I don't agree with what you just said.
He's 20 now. But when he was in middle school, and I didn't do anything on the level of what you're doing with Jackson, but I walked him through basic back squats, front squats, because he's playing football already, in middle school. And so I'm like, "You're going to play this in high school, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, so you're going to be doing all this weightlifting. Let's start working on your form and stuff like that. And let's get you locked in now." And I think it was his freshman year. They did it every year, but his freshman year in particular, they did they were doing a fundraising event where it was weightlifting. So it was deadlifting, back squats, and cleans. And basically they got sponsors, how many pennies per pound will you sponsor, this athlete for, kind of thing.
And you were like, "Can I do half a cent?"
Well, yeah, because you guys have seen my grandson.
Yeah, right.
He's a beast. The struggle is real. But it was a proud moment of mine, because watching all of these kids deadlift with bad form, and the coaches are just cheering them on and okay with it, and then watching these kids back squat, and it's a thing of mine, when you back squat, don't look up at the ceiling, you need to be looking straight ahead. Don't. Every one of these kids, they've been taught as a way to not bend over too far over their knees or whatever, to look up at the ceiling. So they've all got their heads locked and looking at the ceiling, and and none of them got to parallel except my grandson. And my grandson, he puts a bar on his back. He puts 500 pounds on the bar as a freshman, and squats with perfect form, looking straight ahead, below parallel, stands it back up, and I'm like, that's an awesome moment.
I'm working with. They're all. Some of them can move well, but others are just, you have to box squat,
right,
or something, just because they can't. They do that.
Right.
They just go forward, and my son is the worst one. I can't get him to squat. He's up on his toes, his knees caving in. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then when he deadlifts, you were talking about deadlifts, he's hunched over the bar. I'm like, "Let's get your shoulders back and straighten your chest." And it just doesn't click. He can't.
But I wonder how much of that is because you're his dad coaching him.
And he's just, "No, I'm not having any of this."
Yeah.
That could be. He gets so pissed off at me.
It'll come around. He's highly athletic. Put a basketball in his hands, and he looks like
at some point somebody else is going to say all those same things to him, and he's immediately just going to go into place because he knows what to do. Mm-hmm. He's just not listening to his dad right now.
He just gets so mad. He just gets pissed. Like Sunday when you were there, I had him doing a plate carry. Mm-hmm. I was 25-pound plate carry. Jackson's not as strong as the other boys, so I gave him a 15-pound plate, 200 meters. The other guys are running, and he just gets so pissed off when I correct him, and I had said something to him, especially in front of his friends, and he just gets pissed, and he just shuts down. So he's walking this 200-meter. The other kids are running this 200. He's just like, "Screw you, man. You said we could walk. You said we could do whatever. I'm going to walk." And he's just like, And I'm out there going, Rawls, because there's another Jackson, so I have to call him by their last name. They're like, Rawls, you better run. I'm getting on him. He does. It doesn't register, not even a little bit. He's just like, I bet if he could have given me the middle finger, he would have been like.
He's got 12+ years experience of shutting you out.
Right, exactly. Right. He's like,
This ain't his first rodeo.
So funny.
I was at Grayson's baseball game last week, and this kid threw a no-hitter. I don't think anybody I don't even think a ball touched the bat.
I don't think so either.
I mean, this kid was just bombing these guys, and was just a regular athlete. He wasn't one of those that was like, he needs to be on a competitive team, so why is he even out here? He was just throwing a really good game. But at one point, the coach was on third base yelling at the first base coach, who was another kid who was injured, so he was in charge of doing the signals for stealing.
Oh, yeah.
And so the first base kid coach is over there like talking to the other kid on first base, and the coach is like, Jason, pay attention. I'm trying to give you a signal, and he's like, oh, okay. So he pays attention for a few seconds, and finally he's like, will y'all look at me? Will you listen to me? He goes, I'm trying to tell you to steal. Steal the base. On this pitch, steal the base.
It was so fun.
The pitcher throws it, and he steals the base, and he goes, good. Did you get my sign?
Meanwhile, the pitcher heard the whole
Listening
Right.
to the whole thing.
Screaming
And
across
the
the
catcher hears
field.
the whole thing, but there's nothing they can do. They're just too young and too dumb to do anything about it.
That's funny.
So, I mean, kids that age are just dumb, and then they get older and they get more dumb.
Talking about awesome high school athletes, did you guys see this kid that Matthew Boling ran a world record for a high school
9.8 seconds.
9.98 second 100 meters.
I saw that.
Fastest high school time ever recorded by mankind.
Well, listen, I watched the video, and the other guys aren't that much far behind him.
But that is a lifetime in 100 meters. How far behind him they are is a lifetime.
right.
Is a lifetime in 100 meters.
seconds or whatever. Yeah.
And the one that you watched was 0.7 seconds slower than the
finals.
Than the finals.
The video was from the semifinals.
Oh, I got you.
The finals,
Okay.
he ran even faster.
Wow.
They took a guy off of they were trying to make an example of people that look at athletes and say, like, that's not that good, or I could do that, or I bet if I was put in that position. And so they took a guy that was trying to break the Giants receivers. He said he could run a 4.40 is what he said he could do. And I don't know if you know what a 4.40 is, but
That's fast.
but somebody like me would run probably on my best day like a 5.35. So I mean, when you hear 4.4 seconds
only a
and
second
5.3 seconds, it doesn't sound that far.
Right.
But the difference in a 40-yard dash is tremendous. And so this guy was struggling to get. He was like at a 5.55, and he was like, okay, Odell Beckham's pretty fast. I guess I'm right. People are idiots.
That's funny.
Who's this Devon Ford guy with CrossFit? You know him?
I don't think I do.
There's an article about him It says he declined his games.
Oh,
invitation.
yeah. He's the guy that got all screwed up on the handstand push-ups.
Man, people are killing this guy.
Yeah, they are killing him.
Man, it's funny. So just read through this stuff. I can't find the article that's got the details right this second.
Did
but,
he have a problem last year with cheating? Or it was,
I don't know.
Because it sounds like that, from listening to him, it sounds like that he's like, maybe the rep sucked.
Which
maybe
one is this one?
He's a guy that's just fallen under a lot of ridicule for his reps or lack thereof. But it's not necessarily. It looks like they're trying to turn it into a cheating thing, but it's really just the guys.
Here's what I read.
But here's the crazy thing. So CrossFit Games' explanation is Ford logged a time of 8:24 and submitted a video of his second attempt at 19.3 for official review that was found to be missing 10 reps.
Oh, that guy.
Later, Ford submitted a video of his first attempt with all reps completed in a time of 8:49. So that's 25 seconds difference. Rather than accept the original score or modify to match his first attempt, officials issued a major penalty on his original submission, resulting in a time of 9:34. So they gave him a 1:10 penalty when he proved that those 10 reps only took him an additional 25 seconds.
There was something I read on Reddit. There's a thread on r/CrossFit about that, and somebody that knew him or him, I'm not sure, said that there's something happened to his original videos. They asked for like 2 or 3 of them, and he didn't have them, and so he tried to go redo them before he submitted them back. And he said, look, I was like freaking out that they asked me for these videos because I didn't do them or something to that effect. And so that's why what you're getting is like a last minute me trying to like throw some shit together.
Yeah.
To get into the CrossFit Games.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But in the end, he declined the offer to go to the games. So that,
It's funny. So he posted for the first time since April 2015. He said, I've always hated social media. Chicks taking pictures of their ass, dudes showing only their best lifts, and everyone posting fake-ass pictures. So no, I will not be posting lame-ass pictures. I'll be documenting how I became one of the fittest in the world using science, nutrition, and biohacked my body to compete in a ring I had no genetic business to be in. So the funny thing is generally speaking, I think you guys would agree that CrossFit athletes are generally supportive of each other. 7 of the top 10 in the world, 8 athletes, 7 of which are game veterans, are openly speaking about this. Patrick Vellner, don't forget to use blatant rep cutting techniques.
They hate him.
Hashtag hack the open. Brent Fikowski, I hear this fitness stuff gets a lot easier if you ignore rep schemes and movement standards. Travis Williams, stick to the ass pics and selfies, dude. Nobody respects a cheater.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are being rough.
But I just want to say that I could see a situation where some dude like submitted scores. I don't know, and it was like, they're not going to ask me here anyway, or whatever it might be. And then like, oh shit, I got to make these videos.
Yep.
And it's possible that he made the right times or whatever, and he submitted the right times, and then like had to be like, oh, I didn't make any real videos. Now I have to try to do it again, and couldn't do it again, and got all nervous or whatever. I'm not trying to say he's a good guy. I don't even know the guy. I don't care about the guy at all. But like I'm not going to go on social media and be like, fuck you, man. Like, why don't you try to cheat some more? Like, who even cares?
Yeah, cheating's that's a pretty heavy allegation.
A lot of these guys, this is they're professional CrossFitters, and so this make or breaks whether or not they get to the games and where they.
But he's not going to the games. He's not. He declined the thing. Like, there's no reason to go on there and be like, "Yeah, man, you're a cheater. You should just keep cheating." And
if I read it right, it did put Patrick Vellner in the games or in the hunt, or it moved him to a position that he wasn't in prior to that. So maybe there was some animosity before that happened. But to your point, with you talking about like kind of accidentally doing well and not realizing how good you're going to do, Petey Elliott said, when she was batting so high 3 years ago, she said she got home from the Open and was like, whoa, like I didn't know I was going to be this high on the scoreboard.
And then what if they asked her for videos?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, well, I don't make videos.
Right.
Like, now I have to go scramble to make videos because I have the opportunity to do it, and I screw it all up and look like an idiot.
And now all of a sudden everybody hates me.
Emily's saying that people were lashing out at him because he didn't immediately refuse the invite and he was taking somebody else's spot. So after he refused the invite, when the heat came, then I guess people have.
Oh, I got you. So
there's got to be more to the story. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And imagine me not knowing all of it.
Well, we talk about qualifying for the Boston
opinion.
Marathon. Like, if I accidentally turned a corner somewhere and qualified, and then the Boston Marathon, I got into it, it'd be like, oh, should I go to the Boston Marathon? Or should I be like, maybe I should tell him I accidentally turned that corner,
Well, what about that guy the marathon investigator guy? That's like what he does with his
I like
life.
him.
I'd be like, that dude's going to get me.
What's your opinion? You like him?
I do.
People have heavy opinions
Dude,
on him
like,
one way or the
I like
other.
him.
Like, so the geek in me wants to see like what kind of setup he's got. Like he's got to be using like Excel spreadsheets and maybe some either like homebrew software, or he might even be as advanced as getting into like cloud AI type stuff to like do some of the analytics for him. Because I mean, basically what he's doing is any event that is a Boston qualifier, he downloads the results. He is looking at anybody that qualified for Boston. Then he's comparing your results if you qualified for Boston to previous results. And then, like, if there's enough of a disparity between previous results and the one that got you qualified for Boston, then he goes and starts investigating further. Like, well, okay, the race that they qualified for Boston at has 6 timing mats. How come 97% of athletes crossed all 6 timing mats, and like you and 40 other people are the only ones that missed a timing mat, but you missed 4 timing mats and nobody else missed 4 timing mats, you know, like just crazy. Like,
and you ran a 3:15 marathon, like, the best marathon you've ever ran is 4.5
and
hours.
Oh, by the way, you you did cross this mat, and when you crossed that mat, you were on a 10-minute average pace, and then all of a sudden you crossed the finish line
at a
6-minute mile pace for the entire race, which means you ran from there to here at a 4-minute mile pace or whatever. You know,
I don't know how he gets paid for doing that.
He doesn't. I think it's just free. I think he's a smart guy that knows how to set up the spreadsheets and the software and all the stuff, and I think he just
he probably works at Google or something.
I don't know. He probably works at Best Buy selling TVs. Like, you know, you just never know like what he's got. Like I think he's just a nerd, you know, and it's just what he does for fun.
I think it's very entertaining.
Do you think at any given major race that there is at least one attempt at cheating?
I think so.
Blatant cheating.
I think I think so. Yeah. I mean, I've been
on Boston qualifier. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
There was a dude that ran. There was a dude that ran the Country Store 15K one year that everybody knew. This guy's going to cheat. He's going to win. And sure enough, he won.
Really?
And
here locally? The one that we did?
Yeah, I wish I knew. I wouldn't say his name, but no, we don't know him. We're not friends with him. He's just some rando dude that like showed up at the race, and everybody was talking about this guy's going to win the race, but he's going to cheat. And nobody will know.
We should just throw out a name and have people attack him.
I wouldn't know. It was like, I don't know. I wouldn't say. Well, I won't even try.
Scott Hollis?
But he ended up.
He's the guy that cheated in that Country Store 5.
His initials were SH.
He's got a law firm.
At any rate, I don't know. He would run so fast that nobody could keep up with him, but he would like do something stupid like turn around before.
Well, and the Country Store 15K was an out and back, so if you got far enough ahead of somebody, you could technically cut part of the course
and come back, and that's what he ended up doing. And I remember he did that for at least 2 years.
But I mean, if you're that far ahead of somebody where nobody's going to see you cutting the course, then you were winning anyways, right? Am I right?
Maybe he could hold in it though.
Right? Yeah. I mean, maybe he's capable of running 3 miles at a 6-minute mile, and then like another 2 miles at like an 8-minute mile, and so he's got to cut some of the time.
Next race when I go like bolting out. 10 minutes later, I'm coming back.
Like I remember people going, "This guy, he showed up at the race last weekend."
I vaguely remembered that too. Yeah. But you don't know his name.
I don't.
We wouldn't know his name.
No, I wouldn't. No. He does not listen to this podcast.
You don't know that.
That was another thing about the event. I was surprised how many people came up and told us they were fans of the podcast this weekend. At the
I was going to go to that, but then I made reservations for dinner instead.
Get Stronger, Run Longer event. Yeah. Like, we had several people walk up and said that they were already fans of the podcast. So nobody knows me, but they all do follow.
They know you, Big Thirsty.
Nobody knows.
They know you, Big Thirsty.
So I'm not going to bring it up.
Yes, bring it up. You have to now.
Started now.
What?
Do I wear a T-shirt that says "Lift Heavier, Run Longer"? What does it say?
It says
"Run Longer, Lift."
Get Stronger, Run Longer.
Get Stronger, Run Longer. And I told I would love the T-shirt, but I was like, I can't wear it. I have this dilemma where it's like,
You can wear it. I think it shows a level of humility.
I want to wear it.
Yeah, wear it.
But I thought, but then for some in my cool not cool filter that I have in my head is like I own a brand called Lift Heavy Run Long,
Which makes it even cooler that you're willing to wear a run longer, get stronger.
Okay. Well,
Sure.
That or you can slash it or take a big marker.
You know, that you're obviously like, that's fine. My brand is my brand, and this is run longer, get stronger.
And that's what we're all about.
Either way, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, you got that podcast, run a lot and get strong.
Anyway,
nobody
either way,
knows.
Rogue is going to just steal our shit anyway. So that's how
butchered.
that goes.
Regardless. So, yeah, I think you should wear. Of course, keep in mind that you have a much better cool filter than I do, because we know that my cool filter is
like
not always on point.
What is it? Is it Under Armour shoes that have Run Long printed on the inside?
You just don't wear Under Armour.
I think so. Maybe.
Because I used to wear Under Armour shoes.
Under Armour, just ignore it. Whatever they do.
Why are you such a hater, man?
It's time for Hypotheticals. It's not hard, it's super easy. Hypotheticals. It's so fun and it's oh so cheesy. Hypotheticals. Your cousin Ben and your best friend Wheezy. It's time for Hypotheticals.
We were off of hypotheticals last week.
And the week before that, right?
No,
I feel like we haven't
maybe
done it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and this week I really didn't put a lot of time into it.
We need Ted to come and sing that live one time.
He would do it.
Yeah.
For sure. He'll sing anywhere.
Dude, I want to play the guitar and let him sing.
He would totally do that. He will sing and play anywhere at any time. That guy loves music. Ted Horrell, music.com, Ted Horrell and the Monday Night Card. Good stuff.
Yeah, he does events around town all the time. Check him out.
I can't find my hypothetical
I'm
question.
going to have to learn how to play the hypothetical
All
song.
that setup.
All right. Would you rather? Who's going first? Who wants it?
Brian.
Who wants it more?
Brian.
I got it.
Oh.
I'm in.
The Rev is stepping up. He's ready. You're ready for the process. I could tell by the way that you raised your hand.
Oh, no.
You are ready
is
for a
not
week
right
in the
word.
woods. With that hair.
He says, I will be tribute.
What's the
I volunteer as tribute.
I volunteered to be stuffed
song?
and hung on the wall.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
What's the song that they play? The little whistle?
I can't whistle correctly or I would do it.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Something like that. All right. Vaughn,
Yes.
would you rather be the worst at your job and work extremely hard at it,
Okay. I already do that.
while
And-
naturally being the best runner, but not having to put forth any effort? Or be the worst runner in the world while putting forth all the effort and naturally be the best at your job?
Number one.
Would you rather be the best at your job and the worst? No, which one?
Worst,
he would be
worst
the
at your
worst.
job and try really hard and then be a really good runner.
Would you really?
I think that's exactly what I am right now. Like you are looking at that person. So I already made that choice.
I don't like
Choice
that
was
question.
made for you.
Because I can't be the worst at my job or they'd fire me because I'd kill somebody. So I can't even answer that question.
You have to answer that question.
Well, I mean, I have to say that I'd be
It's
the
a
best at my
hypothetical.
job.
I mean, you're not going to
But I
go into
wanna
work
run really
tomorrow
fast.
and be like, do what?
But I want to run really fast to be good
But
at
given
it.
the option, you'd rather let people die at your fingertips
No.
while running really fast marathon
I
times.
mean, you're already killing babies.
Babies, yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
they already
I
know
just want
that.
everybody to know that I have my NRP and my pals, and I do resuscitate children. I do not let them die in my care.
That is a joke. It was a joke.
No, I just can't. I can't do it. I'd have to just be a sucky
Be
runner,
a crappy runner and be.
which I am right now.
I'd rather be good at my job because that's going to take me further than being a good runner.
Yeah. Me too.
Depends on how good of a runner you are, I suppose.
Well, it's not working out so far.
Yeah.
Did I mention my 4-mile run this weekend?
All right, who wants the next one?
I'll take it.
If you get to choose between 50 years of it being incredibly happy or to live for 100 years and be mildly content,
50 years incredibly
decently
happy.
content,
50 years incredibly happy.
Yep.
which only gives you a few more years.
I'm good.
I guess I kind of threw a knuckleball in there. You get 50 more years. We'll give you 50 more.
Oh, yeah, that is. I was like, I'm 43.
You get 7 more years.
Cherish this
Let
7
me do the
years.
math. Let me count on my
Well,
fingers.
let's be clear. The first 43 weren't all happy.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give me 50 happy years.
50 more happy years, or what was my other number?
100.
100.
No,
Pretty
I'm
good
thinking
years.
50
I mean, there's some good
more
stuff in
happy
there.
years for sure.
50 years.
50. Me and you both.
I don't want to live that long anyway. Whew,
I don't
that'd be
either.
so terrible.
I don't have any desire. Death does not concern me in the least.
Really?
None. None. There's a part of me that just welcomes the
Do you not
whole,
think about the way you're going to go, though? Like, I kind of think about that a lot because I kind of see all of how it goes.
Well, yeah, you're kind of around death.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh,
You're
that's
probably
not
faced
the
with
way
it
I
a
want to
little
go.
bit.
That's pretty good.
My biggest.
Mine's going to be definitely like a heart attack in the O'Charlie's parking lot. It'll be pretty easy. It won't be much.
My biggest fear is like what's left behind after
Yeah,
I go.
that's my worry.
The thing that I worry about the most is like I'm going to die right now, and 10 years from now, nobody's even going to know who I was, or I'm not going to leave anything for anybody that means anything.
I worry
And
about my
think
kids
that's-
and grandkids and just them being
Yeah.
taken care of and that kind of stuff, and them having somebody there to continue to support them and that kind of thing. So
Well, thanks for making me feel like a selfish jerk. I don't ever give them any thought at all.
I want to die, and my family, my kids, and everybody else that knew me have something to take away from my life that is valued more than the life insurance that I have on myself right now. Like, someone could probably kill me right now. My wife would probably be better off.
Do you know what my children will take away from my entire existence? They will appreciate the fact that I brought Amanda and Charlie into their life. Other than that, they'll be like,
That's not true.
fine with everything. I think my checking out of here before I completely like flop as a human being is something that I am so concerned with, like completely bombing in life, that there's a side of it. It's like once it's over, there won't be any more opportunities to like bankrupt myself and become desolate.
Yeah,
and
you're
live
gonna-
under a
no other
bridge.
opportunities
You'll
to
be
fuck
dead.
shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now that I'm dying, at least I can't screw up
They
anymore.
can't foreclose on the house, and me just. I think that way. It's crazy.
Do you want to know it's coming?
Who? That's a good question. I don't think I really care.
How would you change if you knew you only had a week to live? You could do whatever you wanted for a week, but you only had a week to live.
I wouldn't show up to work. That's for sure.
You could do whatever. That's a different question.
Well, but I mean, we should be living our lives that way anyways.
Well, you can't. That's just you just can't. Like
That's the best answer to just about every meme
That's fantastic.
on the internet.
Right?
is that
Like,
you just,
like,
it's
hey,
not
man,
possible.
I would
Let's
like
just
to
say you're
travel.
going to die in 7 days. Well, you needed to live that way. Well, I still got to fucking go to work because if I die in 7 days, somebody's going to have to.
And
get
if
my
I don't,
paycheck.
I need to afford day 8.
Right. Something like I can't go to Peru and walk through the jungle or whatever it is. Like
Is
this.
that what you'd do if you had a week to live?
I mean, I'm just making shit up because who knows?
Is
Like,
that what you do in Peru?
I can't do
Are there
any of
jungles
it
in Peru?
anyway.
I don't even know where Peru is.
like, well,
It's over in
let's
Europe
go to
somewhere.
Africa.
It's near France.
Is that north of Nutbush?
I know. Let's go to Africa and hunt wild animals. Well, I can't do that. So
Peru.
no, you can't. It doesn't matter what I want to do in the next
does
7
matter.
days.
Why doesn't it matter?
Because you can't do it. Like I can't do anything I want to do.
Man,
If
I
you
get
could,
to do a
what
lot
would you
of.
do?
But that's not what you were saying.
If you could,
You
what
said
I'm
you should be
changed-
living that way,
Okay.
and I said you can't do that.
I would
Let me know
travel.
when you're done.
Listen to Thirsty like he's talking to his kids. Okay, you just get it out of you. You stand in the corner and let me know when you're done. You can come back to the dinner table. That was so fatherly.
That was pretty fatherly.
What were you gonna say?
I would travel
Your travel.
Where?
everywhere I could go.
Where would be the first place? You can't go that many places.
Scotland.
Scotland. What would you do there?
Just tour it. Go. In the countryside. Look off the mountains and stuff. And Ireland and just go all around that area. I didn't get to see very much of it the last time I was over there. So just enjoy the beauty and the food and the traveling.
Camera just shut off.
You just broke the camera.
It just shut off.
I bored the camera to death.
All right, let's see. We're about out of time, man. This hour just goes by too fast. There's so much stuff
It's so easy
to talk about. I don't know what I want to get into
Oh, I ran a mile with Abby.
because
Heck yeah, I think I knew that already.
I think that
How'd
was
that go?
Sunday too. Yeah. It was a mile.
It's starting to get warm again.
Yeah, it was slightly warm out there. It's after church, so I don't know, what time was that?
It was like 2, 3
Yeah, it's
o'clock.
hot. Of course, that run from the gym, it's wide open, no shade. And when you go between the buildings, there's no wind. It's pretty rough.
Did I tell you about
But we did it.
Did I tell you about the chicken bone rape run?
What?
Everybody
I
see
saw
that?
your post about that.
You know how on Strava, if you run, like I guess
There's
a-
segment that you
there's
can define
on
segments on Strava.
But there's a place that I ran from my work down to Harbor Town, and there's a spot where you go, and in between you is the Mississippi River and this giant wall where it's like very secluded. And I was thinking when I was running down there, I was like, well, a person could probably get robbed down here or whatever or something. Shady's going on. Could be possibly it's Memphis. And so that thought came into my head. And so I ran and finished my run. And when I was looking at it on the internet, I went to Strava and it said you did your personal best on the
Chicken bone rape run.
And I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Like somebody else
Somebody probably found a chicken bone and thought they were going to get raped.
Yeah.
and had the same thought that I had, which was this could be kind of a scary place to run, except for the Memphis Police Department cameras that are like on every single light pole that
So
you
they'll
run.
know who killed you.
Yeah.
Right. They won't get there to
They
help
watch
you.
from a
They'll
distance
know.
eating their popcorn.
And I was like, I thought that was pretty funny that somebody did a chicken bone rape run.
I bet there's some pretty funny.
And then
Strava
someone
routes.
replied on
segments.
replied
No
on
doubt.
Twitter and said, "Tell me why you think that's funny."
Uh
I was
oh.
like,
Yep. Nope.
So,
Can't go there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll be getting activist hate mail before too long.
Yeah.
I had a good CBD oil. What do you think about CBD? I hear so much stuff about CBD oil. Nothing? It's no good?
I'm not a fan of it. I have too many patients to come in that, I mean, there's no regulation on it, FDA regulation. So you don't know what you're getting, really. And I've got so many patients they come in all messed up on it.
Oh, messed up
Messed
on
up.
it.
Not like high, but like it messes up their system, their electrolytes, or it's interfering with other drugs that they've got going on because they're doing like the under the tongue stuff, and then some of them are taking these. This one little old lady was taking I can't remember the name of these pills, but it was really amazing that an old person would be willing to take it because it was a wild hemp bombs or something. I don't know.
I
I
think
was
it's
like,
fair
what?
to say that.
I mean, I know they're
people
looking
will
for
just take
pain
whatever
relief. I know they're looking for
stuff.
that, and they've heard
Yeah.
a little bit about it probably,
Well,
and they
it's
just
good
go
for,
out.
It's good for a lot of things. It's anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
It's good for like muscle recovery and relaxing.
Of course, I see the bad side of it because I'm at the hospital in the ER, and I see all these people come in.
That's
have
very
this
true.
in there. So I see the bad side most of the time.
Yeah, people aren't coming to the hospital like, look at how
Yeah,
great
look
the
how great-
CBD oil works. We were doing Easter egg hunting and with the kids, and they had these confetti eggs that were real eggs that like had a corner of them taped together, and you could smash the egg and confetti came out. And we were wondering if they're biodegradable or how you
Sure.
clean up the stuff. And so I took a little piece of the paper and I put it on my tongue to see if it was going to dissolve.
See if it was acid.
And, my brother was my brother was next to me, and I was like, please be LSD, please be LSD, please be LSD. Because it wouldn't count against, if it's an accident, it doesn't really, it's not a strike against my sobriety. Sure. I don't guess.
And then it was just an accident. You're down.
And then next thing week later, and I'm in Peru walking in the
Wilson's
jungle.
not on the podcast anymore.
He's out in the front yard with no shoes on with a hula hoop.
This is how I go.
But I guess we were talking about it. I was at least thinking about how many things that I've bought from strangers or hippies or, like Amanda would not do that.
No.
Ever for any reason.
right. I would never buy. There's so many people trying to sell so much bullshit out there that it's no wonder that someone's taking a product that is not that great,
Yeah.
right? However, we are now Driven Nutrition affiliates,
Who also has a CBD oil supplement.
who also has apparently a really good CBD product, which is and I talked to. You got to talk to this guy. Like, if you can just call Jason Rule up and talk to him on the phone, you spend 5 minutes talking to him, and you'll be like, I'm going to take over the world. I'm just going to take over the world. He is so on top of his shit.
You can interview him for your Find My Way?
I hope so, yeah. But the product that they sell is called Charlotte's Web. And he was saying that they're the only company that they grow it, they manufacture it, and they sell it. Like, they're in charge of the entire process. Like, it's not some company that's like selling some third party imported whatever shitty product. These are like one of the only, if not the only people, one of the only companies that have the farms. They grow the product and manufacture it all, and they're in control of the entire process and what you get. And it's supposed to be like the best product you can possibly get.
Well, Crystal Landers had mentioned the Charlotte's Web, and I thought she was referring to a different product. I didn't realize that was part of the nutrition.
Yes, that's what
package.
You get. Yeah, when you go on the website, when you buy.
Do you drink that stuff?
They have, what I noticed was they have the liquid stuff and they have the pills.
Is that what Gus was selling?
No, Gus was selling something else, I believe.
Not vaccinations.
Interesting.
He's not selling those. With the Driven Nutrition, my favorite thing about their pre-workout is it doesn't require a spoon to mix. You can dump that stuff in your cup.
None of their shit requires. If you've ever had like a clumpy, like, I know this sounds like a commercial, but like, fuck, it's not. I promise. None of their stuff the whey protein, any of it, it just mixes right in. And that's what I love about it.
I was surprised at how few people drank pre-workout in the Lift Heavy Run Long community on Facebook. When you posted, or somebody posted, what pre-workout do you take? And there's all this natural stuff, like nothing. I don't take anything. I do this or that. Coffee, liquor, like comments like that. But hardly anybody said that they took a pre-workout.
Yeah,
I don't.
You need to get some of it. It's good. I like it.
I love pre-workout.
Yeah, I'm like you. I want to take it. I go to the gym because I want to take it.
Yep. I take it and then go to the gym because I wanted to take it.
Amanda's just shaking her head like these people are so stupid.
Guess what?
What?
We're out of time. Did you check and see if we had you didn't know how to do that, did you?
I found like the public facing thing, but I don't know how to log in and see if there's any ones. There weren't any new public ones that I could see.
I'm going to assume that there was one there, and we're going to read a couple next week. So everybody's going to have to hold tight, and we'll have new and fresh hypotheticals that will be well thought out. They'll be insightful. They'll be intense and profound. So that's what everyone has to look forward to. Do we have a podcast next week?
We do have a podcast next.
And then the week after that, we don't have one.
We don't have one.
Dude, I'll tell you a quick story. And I think this is what started my anxiety and stress for the day. I got up this morning. I was talking to my wife, and she goes, talking about airline tickets, and she was like, "You fly out on Wednesday." I said, "What?" She goes, "Well, you fly out next Wednesday to Canada." And I was like, "I don't fly out Wednesday. I fly out Thursday. I didn't take off work on Wednesday." And she was like, "Well, you need to check your stuff because you're flying out on Wednesday." I was like, So I jump up off the couch, and I'm like scrambling through my stuff, looking through my papers, and like log on to my email. And man, I'm flying out on Thursday. But then it got me thinking, well, did I get the day wrong? So I go back to my paperwork, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to be there on the 10th. I'm flying in on the 9th for sure. And so she was gone taking the kids to school, and she got back. I was like, you almost gave me a heart attack. Like, if I bought the wrong airline ticket, that would have been completely screwed.
Did you yell at her?
No.
Damn it, Holly.
No, I just like had anxiety for the whole rest of the day. Is what I did.
I bet.
Instead.
Can't be doing that.
Whew. Man. Anyway.
Lift Heavy, Run
that.
Long number 145 is in the books.
Boom.